As of right now, there are over 1,100 chapters and episodes of the One Piece manga and anime. So no wonder it seems like a daunting task for anyone new to the series to take on. I mean, we've seen the birth of My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Black Clover, and the first two out of those three series are already completed at this point, with Black Clover not being too far after coming up. So all that is to say, One Piece is pretty damn long. I mean, there's really no denying that fact. But what if I told you that in spite of the large volume of chapters and episodes in One Piece, that you can get through the series in a fairly reasonable amount of time without giving up an arm and a leg or even a full body exchange of time to get through the series? Hello, it's AJ here, and I have taken it upon myself to convince you that One Piece isn't exactly that long when you get down to the nitty-gritty details. What do you mean it's not that long? Hold your horses, you weeaboo degenerate. So yeah, there is a large amount of ground to cover in One Piece, but let's actually break down the numbers and see how long this series really is. To do this, I'll be digging into the main issue of the One Piece anime adaptation from Toei Animation. Spoiler alert, it's the pacing. But there is an alternative solution to this that I will be discussing in the video. Then we'll be taking a look at the manga and discuss how many hours and days of time it would actually take to get through reading it, considering its sheer size. Then finally, I'll be doing some free promo for the Netflix One Piece adaptation titled The One Piece, done by Wit Studios. I promise I'm not a simp. I just think it's probably going to fix a lot of the issues that came with the Toei adaptation. And I'm tired of people missing out on peak because of how bad the Toei adaptation was, especially earlier on in the series. So let's just sit down, kick our feet up, and talk about that Toei adaptation for just a little bit. It is long. It is really long. There is absolutely no denying that. In fact, in addition to being long, it is trash. It is completely trash for about 90% of it. And you could probably go a little higher than that. But that's not because of the characters, it's not because of the story, and it's certainly not because of the animation itself. Okay, yeah, the animation is actually doo-doo. It's actually pretty bad. But of course, subpar animation completely put to the side here, the problem is the pacing. For an easy point of reference, let's look at another anime adaptation from Wit Studio titled Ranking of Kings, which you should definitely check out, by the way. It is fucking amazing. Video coming soon on that. Anyways, the first season of Ranking of Kings is 23 episodes, which is adapted down from 155 chapters from the manga. So the anime of Ranking of Kings was able to convey the story and themes of the manga in just 15% of the source material. The One Piece anime, on the other hand, has adapted 1,125 chapters into 1,118 episodes, and that's with the manga currently being done with the Egghead arc, which the anime is currently halfway through right now. When you average out all the time, that is literally less than one chapter per episode. So when the anime and the manga is done, the Toei adaptation will be more episodes than chapters in the manga. So at this point, you're probably asking yourself, why the hell is this the case? So episodes of One Piece are broken out into 5 parts. You have the intro song, which has historically been about 1.5 minutes at the very beginning of the episode. Then there's the episode recaps, which average about 2 to 5 minutes. The actual new content of the episode. Then there's the ending song, which is about 1 minute and some change, which did get eliminated for some episodes for a longer intro song of 2.5 minutes. And finally, you have the next episode preview, which is about 30 seconds to a minute at the very end of the episode. And they squeeze all of that in a 22-minute runtime per episode. So when we crunch out the numbers, you can expect 5 to 8 minutes of each episode of One Piece to be straight up repetitive content, which leaves only 14 to 17 minutes of actual story for each episode. So yeah, obviously that's pretty horrible. Then you add in the filler episodes and the unnecessarily long extended scenes that the anime introduces, kind of like a young Kuma getting the absolute shit beat out of him for like 10 straight minutes in the anime. It's not literally 10 minutes, but it's a weirdly uncomfortable amount of time. And here we are, 1,118 episodes later. So obviously we're wasting a lot of time here in the Toei adaptation. But as I said before, there is a solution. But essentially, One Piece is a fan edit of the anime, taking out all the filler and the unnecessarily long, stretched out scenes. To put it simply, they cut down 365 hours of content down to 206 hours. In other words, that's 15 days cut down to 8 days of just raw content. That said, the fan edit has not completed the entirety of the Toei adaptation, so there's still some there left to be desired. If you have been enjoying the video so far, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the page if you want to see more uploads. I'd love to have you, and all this helps me grow on the platform, which I really appreciate. Okay, so let's transition here and talk about the manga. Yes, the One Piece manga is over 1,100 chapters right now, but one of the key differences between the manga and the anime is you're not stuck to a fixed amount of time like an anime episode. You can read at your own pace. According to comicbook.com, from an accounting of Redditors and Twitter users, it takes the average person about 8 minutes to read one chapter of manga. And as a manga reader, I think that sounds about right. So if we multiply the current amount of chapters of One Piece, with it being 1,127 right now, by the 8-minute estimated read time, that gives us 9,016 minutes, aka 150 hours, aka 6 days of One Piece to fill your cranium with. That is, of course, assuming you do nothing but eat, sleep, and dream about One Piece for the next 6 days straight. Now, when you compare the manga read time to the behemoth that is the One Piece anime, with that 14 to 17 minutes of new content in mind that we came up with earlier, that's going to leave you 15,652 minutes to 9,006 minutes of anime to consume. In other words, that leaves you between 260 to 316 hours, or 10 to 13 days of pirating adventures to be had. That is, of course, assuming you skip the intro, the preview, the recap, and the outro of every single episode. Otherwise, if you're a masochist and want to watch every single minute of the Toei adaptation, that leaves you with about 410 hours, or 17 days of One Piece to watch. So in the grand scheme of things, 150 hours doesn't sound too bad. To put this completely in perspective, if you were to read 1 hour of One Piece every single day, you'd be caught up in less than half of a year. But you truly won't understand what I mean when I say One Piece is too short until you pick it up and read it and realize there is not enough One Piece in existence to satiate your newfound obsession. And that brings us to our final segment, the Netflix reboots The One Piece. Not One Piece, The One Piece. So the reason why I'm bringing this up in particular is because, one, it'll probably be better than the Toei adaptation, but two, I think it has all the tools necessary to drastically condense the size of this monster of an anime. Now, if you're skeptical, I certainly don't blame you, but just consider this: JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now, this may surprise many of you, especially considering the anime for JoJo's is only 194 episodes to cover 6 parts, or 6 seasons, whichever way you want to say it. But the JoJo's manga is a whopping 976 chapters long right now. And it's still going. Yet the anime for JoJo's is only about a fourth the amount of episodes in relation to the manga chapters that are currently written. So I ask you, if JoJo's can do it, why can't One Piece? No bullshit, no filler, just a new take on the series with fresh animation and a new artistic direction. So if you're one of the thousands or even millions of heathens that are allergic to the gospel of One Piece due to its sheer godlike size, I hope I was able to give you a bit of context for what makes this story so massive. But perhaps maybe it's not as massive as you initially thought. So I implore you, if you're feeling adventurous, to consume this story by Ichiro Oda in any way that you find preferential, and see what we love about it so much and find out why it really is too short. And that is all I got for you for this video. Thank you for watching to this point in the video. Oh my God, I am shocked you made it this far. Please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, comment your thoughts below, and consider subscribing. I would love to have you, as I said before. And I will see you on the next one.